edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
I'm Alex Midway, and it is definitely our Slide Down to Dinosaur Thursday edition. And for those who celebrate, it's either the NFL Draft or Game 3 of the Bruins and Sabres series. Go Sabres.
Tied up 1-1.
Yep.
Well, that's because Boston cheats.
Well, did you watch any of the game?
I only caught a little bit of last Tuesdays. Yeah, I only caught a little bit of Tuesdays.
So we have a second goal that went on the Sabres. It literally gets shot from halfway, and it just bounced and it made it right past UPK. It was one of the worst goals of all time, but that's what we do. We set records.
Yep. Well, sell your soul. Weird stuff's going to happen.
Oh.
Let Boston burn.
People who sell their souls, that's Elon Musk. Let's get this thing started. We all got to get to the draft and the game. It was 386 when we saw you guys last, and it's now 373. And that's what happens after you have an earnings call. But they did come in at 0.09 billion more than what Wall Street had expected. But there's that's kind of a little top bun in the S sandwich, as CFO Vaibhav Taneja said the company's 2026 estimate for CapEx will be over $25 billion and will result in negative free cash flow for the rest of the year. So CapEx is capital expenditures. That's the money that they use to build up warehouses, maintain warehouses, machines, stuff like that. And that's kind of what's going to happen when you go from all your life building cars and now you're a robot, bro.
So for the rest of this calendar year, they're expecting to have no money towards building maintenance or anything, right?
No, all their money is going towards that.
Oh, well, you know what? Good place to put it, since all these accidents keep happening around warehouses lately. But it's not like they have a management team that's pissed off the world, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I hope they start, what's it called? Clark paper towels. They start storing them in there. Like, oh, we have a business opportunity to make a couple bucks. And wait, what? If they did what to where?
Yep. Can't wait. Nothing but good things can happen. Go robots.
So that's it for them. That was kind of a big deal. They had the earnings call. They beat expectations, and then the CFO comes out. Be like, yeah, we're still screwed. And that's it until the next one. But Honey Badger Stand update. It's although the Ust-Luga terminal has stopped, there is a refinery and two ops is essentially, it's on the Black Sea. And we didn't report on this one, but Ukraine hit this place on the 16th, and it took about 150 firefighters to put it out. They're like, all right, job's done, boys. And then they hit it again on the 20th, and that thing is burning right now. There are plumes in the sky, and it is literally raining oil.
That sounds like, a nice comeuppance that they have to deal with for a little bit. So you know what? Kudos. Good for you guys. And I hope once the fire goes out, they blast it one more time.
Just DJ Khaled with the drones.
Another one.
Yeah, but if you guys have a chance, TUAPSE, it's an oil refinery out there. And honestly, just Google Russian refinery burning, and it'll definitely take you to that. The plumes are out of this world.
And if that doesn't interest you, you can always just Google TPUSA and see what the worst people on Earth are up to.
So, speaking of worst people on Earth, the U.S. Treasury Chief defends a pivot to extend Russian oil sanction relief. So while it's falling out of the sky, we ended up initially passing sanctions relief because we invaded Iran. So we went ahead and got sanctions for both Iran, the country we are battling, and Russia. And then afterwards, Besson said, oh yeah, this is a temporary thing. And literally 2 days after he said that, right when it was approaching the 30 days, he's like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and extend it. And now he's like, we just need sanctions relief. We need cheap oil. That's why we keep doing this.
If you guys remember from the last time I lost my mind on this podcast, Besson's the guy who said they don't want to mess with retirees who own multiple homes. Like many of you or your parents may own 10, 12, 15 homes even by the time you retire. So yeah, this space cadet is now, I guess, explaining why it's better if we make sure our enemies have a higher cash flow in times of war. Besson might have like some sort of handicap.
I mean, imagine your grandparents like in WW2. They're like the war starts and like, you know what I can really go for right now? A cold Heineken. Like, what the F are you people doing? Like, you're literally buying from the country you're trying to bomb. Like, Explain the logic.
Yeah, why we didn't just wipe Holland off the map, I'll never understand. No, but yeah, it's ridiculous. Any other situation in the world, this wouldn't even come up. But somehow Besant's doing his best to spin it, and it's bad. I think personally, I think he might also have dementia too, because he talks like a crazy person.
Yeah, President Trump's policies, we're bringing gas prices down. It's like, why did they go up to begin with? It's like, Joe Biden. Like, no, seriously, what happened? Like, we started a war.
Uh, I would like to give a different answer, but they whack me in the back of the head with a hammer every time I ask a question. So it's not my fault your parents don't own a dozen homes. I hate
Stop
him.
being poor.
Yeah.
But one thing we did skip over is our starter here. It's who said it, and
Nope.
this one is it's a throwback. He's like, I've now been to 57 states. I think I have one left to go.
It's got to be Trump, right?
No, this is actually Obama. When he was still running for president the first time, and he was working it hard because America was not ready for him. So he had to go shake every baby and kiss every hand, and he was he let out that bad boy.
You know, it does make you think. Had we not pushed Obama or Hillary back in '08, do you think the other side would be so hard to deal with right now?
I think it's Hillary. I think Obama they got over, but I think it's the fact that they pushed Hillary so bad because they're like, who's on the other side? It's Trump. Like, now we're gonna go ahead. We just had a black dude in office. We're putting a broad in, and they just rammed her down Democratic voters' throats. Like the whole thing with Bernie when they were handing her shit like question notes. Like people wanted Bernie, but they just kept pushing Hillary. I think that's what disenfranchised a lot of people.
Well, I think you're right. But as a man with plenty of MAGA family members, I can tell you with certainty they are not over Obama.
Fair enough. I guess not. No, that's a deep hatred. But let's get back to the whole thing. Because actually news came out. So like Russia's out there selling oil. They're getting paid and everything else. Last episode, we told you that Ukraine opened up a Druzhba pipeline, but then went ahead and blew up a different part of it in Russia. So they're doing the same thing because right now, General Cherry has reached an agreement with an American military producer, Wilcox Industries, to build the latter's drones in the former's factories in New Hampshire. So essentially, General Cherry, the Ukrainian company, is building drones stateside. Honestly, if they have pretty good incentives, I would love to live in New Hampshire and just out there in the middle of nowhere, snowboard and make drones for a living.
Have I been to? No, I went to Vermont, the other New Hampshire.
I mean, once you're up there, it's similar.
Yeah, it sounds great. Just building weapons of war and then forgetting all about it as you're shredding fresh gnar.
Yeah, saving a bunch of nuns on top of a mountain. That's how we all get injured on snowboarding. Only way.
Clavicle, clavicle, clavicle.
So, another thing that's come out, and it's kind of cool. So, the people who are getting some of these drones are also going to participate in a Call of Duty type point system as Ukraine expands E-point system that rewards battlefield kills with weapons credits. So, this is the most American like example of capitalism, and they turned it into war. Like, how do we hate Ukraine?
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible. The only way I can see that you hate Ukraine is if you're somehow being paid or blackmailed by whoever their enemy is.
Like, someone told you that you could build something in Moscow Square. You're like, yeah, I don't care. You guys can keep shooting at U.S. troops, too.
Why won't Ukraine stop invading Russia? We have to put an end to this, guys.
Look at this monster Zelensky out here.
Yeah, it's like running over a suspect and the cop showing up and screaming, "Stop resisting" at him.
Yeah.
Like as he's riling around on the ground. I don't know. Make it make sense, man.
Look what you're making me do.
Yeah. This is your fault.
Beat you because I love you. But essentially, I took a look at this whole thing, and they described it as kind of like an Amazon store. Like the guys on the video, it's like two dudes. There's like a bear, and the other guy's named Disney. So Disney's out there just dropping Russians. But the way the system works is there's a bunch of like groups of drone operators in Ukraine, and one thing gamers love is competition. So Ukrainians came up with an idea, and they're like, we're going to make it a ranking system. So you're competing against the other drone units. And what they do is they actually, based on who the military is targeting, like let's say they want to take out a bunch of tanks, like the armor columns, they'll assign a higher point value to VAT, so then the drone operators will aim more towards VAT. And it's very similar to how we used to like incentivize people to buy a new house by giving a first-time homeowner credit, having them buy like solar panels, by doing stuff like that. But the Ukrainians went ahead and said, "Cool, we're doing this in the military." And currently, they're saying that last month about 35,000 Russian soldiers were injured or killed, and their goal is 50K.
Well, I hope they take a page out of the Call of Duty playbook, because whenever it would be double XP point weekend, I tended to try harder. So
Like, just grab that Monster Energy drink and let's go earn some scopes.
God, so I got this idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
We open up, remember at Chuck E. Cheese or any kind of place you used to go for a kid's party where you play a bunch of games and get tickets, and then you bring all your tickets up to get like an eraser or, some other trash thing. We open up just the prize section of a Chuck E. Cheese in Ukraine to reward these guys with their tickets. And maybe also the animatronic band and the terrible pizza.
Was it really terrible pizza?
I had Chuck E. Cheese about a decade ago, maybe, and it was not great.
I'm going to go stop by one. I'm going to find one where we have one here at Missouri and go stop by there. Or wait, we're in Arizona now.
We're in Arizona. We're in Arizona. Just take our word for it, Palantir.
Yeah, somewhere around this warm place that I'm in right now. I'm going to go find a Chuck E. Cheese. God, I really hope it's a Midwest thing.
It's the most Midwest thing.
So we have also a pretty good, like, feel-good story. I'm also going to post up a link to this one on the show notes. Did you end up watching this yet or no?
I have not.
So the Kuban State Agrarian University, it's kind of like you can get a guest speaker to come in, and they're like, well, right now we're patriots, and we're going to bring on a soldier of a special operation. And it's a dude, he's got all camoed out, got the entire face covered, all he's got is sunglasses. Like, all right, well, tell us about the great work you're doing for the motherland. And this guy starts talking, and Russians and Ukrainians, I mean, I speak Russian, so he can speak the language. So he's like, yeah, I'm out here, and he starts talking about two drone operators, like, and they're kind of stupid. And now I have a thing to tell you guys. I'm actually Ukrainian. And I want to tell you that I hope I never see any of you, because I will have to kill all of you. And he just starts talking towards the back end, and they shut him off. But he's like, listen, you can come down here. Like, we'll put you in a local cemetery. Like, come get some.
Buddy, I'm loving just the FU of everything Ukraine is doing back. Like, you could see they tried to do everything right, and then they're like, all right, screw it. You want to play in the mud? Let's get dirty. I love it.
All right, can we have some of your old missiles? Like, yes, you'll have really old ones, and some of the mortars we send you won't go off. Like, fine. He's like, also, you can't attack inside of Russia. Be like, but they're attacking us. He's like, you can only attack yourselves with these mortars, and we're going to give you bum intel, and we're telling the Russians where all your stuff is. Like, this war sucks.
At this point, Ukraine's getting petty enough where, like, it's going to reach within the next month or two where they have weapons that can hit the Kremlin, but instead they just give a one-off, like, warning of, like, spray painting Putin is gay on one of the walls. It's just, like, they're throwing salt in the wound before they open the wound, and I'm here for it. That is a level of petty that only me and 50 Cent tend to really hold dearly.
So that whole thing, again, I'm going to put a link up on it, but also another story came out earlier in the week. They even went ahead and just broke into like a Russian drone meeting when they were talking about it. And in that meeting, they all came out, and most of the stuff is actually from China. They barely have anything to make out there. And they're saying like how horrible it is. And then one dude in the corner, he's like, hey man, I got a question. He's like, oh yeah. We haven't heard from you all meeting. He's like, just a heads up. I'm from Ukraine. All your faces have been recorded. We know who you are. And they shut him off as well. So maybe just kicking indoors in these online meetings.
Waving the 4-4.
Yeah. So
he's glad he don't hit me no more. I love it. It's just they're turning out to just be smarter and more devious. It's great.
Like, we're not dead yet, so we're just gonna have fun trying. But yeah, one thing that they could appreciate, and we're definitely gonna need a lot more, is the fact that the U.S. reclassifies some marijuana products as a less dangerous drug. We went from having it in Category 1, which is essentially crack, and it's now down to Category 3, which is ketamine and steroids.
So, just, again, for me, I guess progress is progress, and we'll take it. But how do you put it in the same category as ketamine?
Well, how do you have it in a category as crack to begin with? Is like the question. Like, I get it. We used to hate black people in this country a lot, and then boogie woogie music will make them just take your white women. So you had to do something. That's why it was category 1. But yeah, like category 3 is still way too high.
Well, again, progress is progress, so we'll take it. But yeah, this is something that just should have been like federally legal across the board this entire time. And if you have one of those terrible dry counties or like still really, really can't stand black people or take a ton of money from liquor companies, I just think you can just outlaw it just in your county and then, we're fine with it still having it in our car.
But one thing I do want to get into is like what Schedule 3 is. There's apparently 5 different categories in there. Like Schedule 5 is the lowest one. Schedule 1's the highest. Schedule 3 is it's substances with a moderate to low potential for physical and psychological dependence. And honestly, there hasn't been a single study outside of Prager and Trump University, I would imagine, that says that weed is habit forming. Like, which one of your friends gets really high and then goes to beat his wife? Like, which one of your friends has ever gotten really high and ordered anything other than just snacks? Like, well, man, you don't want to be around that guy when he's on sativa. Like, you never hear that. You hear, like, yeah, that guy's an a-hole when he's got, like, tequila in him. And the fact that you can buy Everclear at the store, but, like, you can't buy weed, like, it makes zero sense to me.
Well, it makes plenty of sense to those taking money from alcohol lobbies. CC Texas on that one for me.
I mean, that's essentially what it comes down to. I mean, it's got to be someone's pushing the agenda.
Yep, big alcohol pushing in on our weed business.
Like, does marijuana crush your freaking liver? Like, no, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't do all that stuff to you.
No. They're strictly trying to keep it outlawed so they can keep their sales up. But again, here's the thing: I have never once smoked a bowl and then had you offer me a beer and I go, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like there's no money to be lost. And in fact, when I'm high, I make the dumbest bulk purchases possible. So this might work out better for alcohol. So just get on team good guy with us.
Yeah, I mean, what's it called? I read studies, I think it was like a decade or even 2 decades ago, like Philip Morris was ready to start releasing marijuana cigarettes in their packs. Like, they had the design and everything. Like, they're looking forward to it, and alcohol is like, we're in the same market. Like, buddy, you can be friends.
Yeah. And it's, like I said, it's all based on just getting dumb consumers to buy things they don't need. And weed only helps it. So just, shut up and make it legal.
So, let's move this thing along. We try to do a little religious segment every now and then, and this is one that really caught my attention. It had some developments. So, did you see the whole thing about the Jesus down at Lebanon?
Oh yeah, taking the sledgehammer to old JC.
So apparently, for those who haven't, there's a picture circulating. It's a statue of Jesus, and he's head down because he got knocked off of the cross when he was up there, and it's right before the impact of a giant sledgehammer to the head of JC. And there was a giant outrage by everybody. And this is the one thing about religious people that I don't get. Like, all this time, Israel's double tapping girls' schools, press, like, people, ambulances, civilian infrastructure, and no one's doing anything. But, like, a statue of Jesus, like, oh no, like, we got to react to that one. Like, all these people are fake Christians. I look at them much worse than anyone else. It's kind of like the whole Russell Brand when he's like, oh, I'm showing up to my trial right now and I'm carrying a Bible. Like, what's a trial to, Russell? He's like, 2 new rape charges on top of the 4 existing ones. Like, that ain't a Jesus thing, homie.
Well, he found Christ, so all is forgiven. That's just how it works. As the religious expert of this podcast, I can tell you there is a ton in the Bible where Jesus teaches about empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And Christians do not care about that whatsoever. It is not a problem if it's happening to other people. It is only a problem if I decide I have a problem with it. So 196 middle school girls get double tapped. Who cares? Nothing's wrong. They broke a statue I've never seen before in a land I've never been to. Well, buddy, newsflash, pal, now you've got a problem. It's so stupid.
I thought we were done, like, listening to the Pope be like, that guy's so far away, he doesn't matter. He's like, now I saw a giant, like, a hung up Jesus somewhere in Lebanon. Like, now you're screwing with me.
Yeah, and according to like Catholic law, basically the Pope is God's voice box, right? It's just he is the word of the Lord here on earth. And the fact that people are like, "Nuh-uh, JD Vance knows more about it. Hannity knows more about it." Just goes to show you how stupid organized religion is.
Quick question. How many books has the Pope put out? I don't freaking think so.
Yeah. How many books about deals has he ever put out?
As Donald
5D
Trump
chess,
said,
baby.
the Pope is soft on crime.
So simple. But whatever, you tell people, just tell the stupid people that like, no, you just don't understand how this works. I know it looks bad and nothing makes sense, but just trust that I, the man wearing a tie that is far too long for this suit, knows better than you. Kind of like Jesus told you.
So, like I told you, with this thing, there's going to be a small development. So a lot of people freaked out about the Jesus. So Israel went ahead and like, oh no, like we're going to go ahead and discipline the people behind it. So they're like, yeah, the guy with a hammer, 30 days in jail. The guy videotaping it, 30 days in jail. And then and they also went ahead and slapped up a picture like, hey man, we went ahead and we got a new Jesus statue up there. It's you can't blame us. We got everything taken care of. But there is a plot twist. Do you know what's coming?
No. What happened? Are you telling me Israel did something shady?
Yes. And it's the worst thing. It's like, it's the JD man. It's like, you guys didn't tell us you'd be fact checking. But so they persecute these two guys and they give them 30 days in jail. But there was also 6 other people in the crowd. And they went ahead and said they're going to be summoned for exploratory talks to be held later. After which a decision will be made on further handling of command delegations. Like, first of all, why aren't you doing it now? Oh, I know, because those guys aren't getting any kind of time whatsoever. But if you think that's the worst thing about it, the icing on the cake is that the IDF official account and Lieutenant Colonel Ella Bowea, also known as Captain Ella online, they went ahead and tweeted about the new statue being up there. Have you ever seen anything about Captain Ella?
I have not.
Neither have I. But apparently on there, she's like the highest ranking Muslim Arab woman in the IDF. And they're using her as like the token like figure on there. It's like, yeah, anything Arabic, like you're going to go out there. And she put out this tweet about it. She's like, hey, listen, we got the new Jesus back up there and everything's good. And that was on April 21st. Since then, I cannot find that tweet on the page because she's tweeted so many other things like about the Israelis going to war and everything else like that. She's essentially just a giant fluff piece on there. But the last thing I do want to mention, Israel never put this thing back up. It was local villagers with the assistance of an Italian battalion of UNIFIL that replaced the IDF statue with an identical one that was broken.
So what I'm hearing is Israel's Byron Daniels didn't lie to you.
Like, bro, like, first you bash for Jesus, then you're like, yeah, we're only going to persecute 2 of these guys. 2 out of 8. So 25% of the people who were there were persecuting them. And then afterwards, we can't even go down to the local tchotchke store to get you a new Jesus. Like, we're going to lie about it, say we put one up, and then take ownership when the Italians step in.
Or glass half full, they at least decided to punish 2 people for destroying a statue after letting 6 prison guards who gang raped the prisoner walk free and become heroes somewhere.
They made a financial decision.
Yeah. So you know what? Maybe progress is progress. I will tell myself any lie possible to get through this, buddy.
We got at least another 3 sub years? No, it's under. It's 2.5-ish.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Who knows?
Again, I've been on the camp for not having elections again.
Back to the good news. Virginia passed their gerrymandering bill on Tuesday. Votes coming in roughly about 51-49. But since the order didn't come from our supreme leader, now all of a sudden everyone on the right has a problem with it. Lindsey Graham's already made a plea for South Carolina to gerrymander next, waving his little bubble wand around like he was the prettiest girl in the whole closet. Even Trump jumped on and blamed the Democrats for stuffing the box with illegal mail-in votes, because of course everything's a hoax. The only real news coming out of this so far is Florida, where DeSantis is heavily weighing to gerrymander the state of Florida right before the midterms. Now, while I'm, anti-gerrymandering, but, at least you let the people vote on whether they want to do it or not, when we go majority rules. There's a ton of heat coming off this whole Florida pitch to redistrict. Where even Florida's GOP is asking him not to move forward. And if so, go as small as possible, because this is going to have that Texas feel where this is probably going to end up backfiring on him.
I mean, like, the whole thing, like, when Trump jumped on, he's like, mail-in ballots, stuffed ballot box. Like, first of all, like, they weren't mailed in. Like, you guys lost. They took it to the voters. Another thing they said, it's like, the wording was wrong because do you want to like redistrict so it goes back to normal? Don't act like everyone who voted in that election didn't know what gerrymandering was at this point, and they hadn't heard from their parties and like understand what it is.
I will say, did you hear any of the ads that they were running for this election?
Well, seeing as I live in Arizona, no, I did not. But were you listening to some of the local channels?
Well, first I got a little interested because I saw Obama put out some stuff about this. I was like, well, he's our god, so he can obviously do no wrong.
State over here.
I said, but like we were talking about, when it comes to gerrymandering, the only two ways you do it is just say screw everybody and put it through yourselves with your own state delegation, or you leave it up to the voters to tell them what to do. So I was like, well, how can anybody have a problem with this? So I actually ended up listening to a Republican attack ad for it. All they did was plea to black people. They're like, they're trying to take away your voice. And honestly, it was kind of well done. I was surprised.
Did you hear the AOC when I asked her about it? Oh, it's freaking gold. So she's out there and someone comes up, there's like, what do you think about this whole thing, the gerrymandering, and they took away all these Republican voices? She's like, literally goes, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we've been telling you guys to stop gerrymandering. We put up these bills. Republicans always voted it down. He's like, we literally have a bill ready to go right now to get rid of gerrymandering. Like, what do you guys want to do?
Again, just like the religious types, it's only a problem when it affects me. I have no foresight to see how any of these things I'm voting for could negatively impact me. And I can't wait to call you all Marxists and socialists when my decision backfires.
Yeah, like, let's check for short-term memory. Like, I don't know, man. It wasn't even a year ago when Trump said to Texas, I need more votes. Make it happen. Like, you all kicked off his bonfire.
Well, thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
So I did want to go ahead and we have an official statement from 6040 Productions. This message is for Ron DeSantis. We here at 6040 believe all Americans have the God-given right to stand their ground. And so gerrymander your state with your 5-year-old data, and don't ever let another man tell you when you should or shouldn't shoot yourself in the foot. I cannot wait for Florida to do this and end up losing more seats.
Yeah, like, the best time you want to take it to the people is when even the crazy Trumpers are like, I don't know, man, like, I might have to burn one of my hats. It's like, I don't like where this is going. It's like, well, let's ask the people how they want to roll. Like, oh, dear God.
Yeah, and they're burning that hat for heat because you killed off all their energy subsidies, and gas is $4 a gallon because a war that was not going to impact us at whatsoever. You just had to stick your stupid big toe in. Yeah, it turns out when your policies and your decision making are as popular as clap at an orgy, your 5-year-old data on who is pro and who is not pro Trump might be a little skewed. Ask all them Latinos for Trump that you deported.
Have fun driving to that polling station when it's $6 a gallon.
Yeah, how are these people supposed to drive their dualies around in their lifted pickups? It's impossible. You're killing the American dream.
I work in an office and I need to lift a truck. Like, yo, you don't.
But speaking of credit, we may not be giving KK Caroline Levitt enough credit because I listened to RFK talk to Elizabeth Warren in Congress this past week, and RFK's math pretty much broke my brain. He squared off with Pocahontas, as they love to call her so much, about the money side of healthcare. And he ended up being put in a position where he had to explain Trump math to a non-moron. To the quotes, President Trump has already a way of calculating. There's two ways of calculating percentage. If you have $600 drug and you reduce it to 10, that's 600% reduction. Sorry, that is really hard to pull off. And not that well. So basically, he had to somehow try to convince Elizabeth Warren that math as we know it has all been wrong and it's really just a construct. And now he's making the case for Trump math, which is, I'm assuming, better than regular math.
Yeah.
Did you read that the same way?
You brought it up right. Like, you have facts and we have alternative facts. Like, no. One's facts and one is a lie. Like, that's the difference. Did you hear the part where Warren asked him about like the price on Trump RX versus Costco?
No.
So she's like, I forgot what drug she is. Like, all right, well, on Trump RX, you have this thing listed at $200 for a month's supply. And she's like, do you know how much it costs at Costco? Like, I don't know the exact number. She's like, $13. So like,
it's almost like she's implying it's a scam.
Well, what they ended up finding out is essentially Trump RX is just a ripoff of Good RX. Like, he just changed the name.
Well, that is true. I also did a little digging on Trump RX, and it turns out all these discounts, you can just go to the manufacturer website, and they offer the same exact discounts for first-time purchases.
I'm sorry, you want me to do work on my own?
I'm just going to blindly follow this big orange turd.
I've got a lot of research to do, buddy. I don't have time to waste like you do.
Yeah, I'm an American. We have important things to do, like blowing people behind dumpsters to afford gas.
Learning how to make my own gas, because I can't afford it.
Mentally, I was still in Florida there for a minute. New segment, probation. I, Eric Halsey, am placing Netflix on probation. Why, you ask? There's a little bit of a conservative issue I've noticed here over the past couple months. So I watched the Hulk Hogan 4-part series they just released, and it's good as long as you know Hulk Hogan is a serial liar. And the older he gets, he started going in that Trump thing where he's like, yeah, I just start making stuff up. It's fine. But the Netflix is kind of burying conservative criticism as far as I can tell. So I first noticed this during the last season of Love is Blind. Also, Shut Up. I see that look in your eye. I enjoy the show. Shut Up. So there's a part where a smoke show doctor looking for love mentions an unnamed political affiliation that would be a non-negotiable for any future partners. But it was very weird how they didn't just come out and say liberal. You can tell she was liberal because she has the word doctor in her name. Netflix went out of their way to avoid using this label, but had zero issues having two of the contestants just have a full conversation about voting for Donald Trump. And I was like, all right, maybe this is a one-off. You know, these people are terrible. Of course, they're Trumpers. But then I watched this Hulk Hogan thing. And you remember we talked about it on the pod last year where he made a triumphant return to Monday Night Raw and got booed out of the building.
Yep.
So they played it. It's part of the documentary. And the way they whitewash it to how an LA crowd can be very unforgiving about racially insensitive remarks, completely glossing over that he had spoken about Trump at the RNC like 3 weeks before, pissing off every wrestling fan on earth. The way they're skewing things, it's starting to feel like they are joining this whole Paramount right-winged, like they're taking baby steps into it. So I'm telling you right now, I'm putting Netflix on probation.
Well, first of all, do you know how I know you're gay? You watch Love is Blind.
Love is Blind's incredible. I don't care what you say. Also.
Oh, I just said what I said.
For a single guy, you should watch this as well.
Hard pass.
These are supposed to be like the top 10 to 15 like eligible bachelors in a given big city.
Uh-huh.
I found you probably in the 50% percentile when it comes to attractiveness versus these fellas, and every one of these guys sucks, buddy.
Fine
You
where I'm
could
at.
you could be a top 10 here in Tucson or wherever we're lying and saying we're from.
I could also be buying a Subaru real quick, so I'm gonna pass on that one. But yeah, like Hulk Hogan just fell off real hard. And again, he's Israel of the wrestling world. Like he used to love a guy, everything was going great, and you wish nothing but the best for him. And then he does a few things, and
Yeah, a couple hard R's and a Trump Trump speech later, and yeah, he my absolute hero growing up, and he turned out to be a real S bag. Speaking of which, though, I'm assuming you did not stop everything you were doing to watch this 5-hour documentary. Okay, highly suggest. It is really fun for a little while. Then he starts getting into his Hulk lies, where he just sort of starts making things up. So I want you to listen to this. Quote, I was taking 80 milligram fentanyls, 2 in the morning, stuffing them up underneath my gums here. I had 2 300 milligram patches of fentanyl on my legs, and they gave me 6 1,500 milligram fentanyl lollipops to eat. I'm pretty sure like less than 10 milligrams killed Kanye's mom.
do you think he just kept him on just in case he got pulled over? Because apparently just a small dusting will kill a cop. And this guy's got, 9,000 milligrams of fentanyl in lollipop form. You just throw it to SWAT team?
Yeah, oh, hold on. Getting a note here from 6040 Productions.
Your internet's too slow. Is that the note?
It is very much it. No, I was looking to see how much fentanyl would kill a normal human, and they won't just give me a straight answer. So
Well, it's because you got to get a
clearly,
visit
Big
from the
Fentanyl has gotten
FBI.
to Google. Yeah, I don't know, man. Seems to me like this is an insane amount of fentanyl, but
You better hope your wife doesn't just die overnight and has fentanyl found in her system. And like, we need to see your phone, sir. Like, what the hell?
the only wife I currently have right now is an ex. And her dying of a fentanyl overdose, not out of the question. So yeah, now I gotta go microwave my cell phone after this.
There you go.
Oh, jeepers.
Did you look at what a 1,500 milligram fentanyl lollipop looks like?
I did not. I hope it's enormous.
It's a giant cookie. Fentanyl lollipop. Oh, dude, they look like Q-tips.
Oh, well,
No, these look like lollipops. I don't, it looks like an earplug. Now that I'm looking at it, and
well,
they're
Hogan didn't have
1,600.
any in his ears from what he could remember, so...
They make them all kinds of. I had no idea they had fentanyl. Listen, if we got rid of Joe Camel, why do we still have lollipops? Like, isn't that like going towards the kids?
Well, you can't buy fentanyl at 7-Eleven yet because we're in a communist country. But I highly suggest all of our listeners go out onto the dark web and just Google whatever a fentanyl lollipop looks like anyways. But I do have to give kudos. Maybe Pam Bondi, when she was talking about all the fentanyl they've seized, maybe this was a stolen valor thing and they just, got it from the coroner's office once they picked up the Hulkster.
You show up to school, you have like a banana raspberry vape stick. You're like, check this out. This thing's awesome. And your boy pulls out a strawberry fentanyl lollipop. You're like, I can't compete with this guy.
And how did Hulk Hogan not get his own Hulkamania fentanyl lollipops?
Pops.
Yeah, no, wasting your time with real American beer and you could have been going Fenty Pops.
You know he had a fentanyl suppository too, right? Like when you're slamming 9,000 milligrams of fentanyl via like oral delivery, you're at the anal cavity delivery stage at that point.
Yeah, you got to assume at some point that if they've gone through 4 places on your body to put something, like the number 5's going up your ace.
Yeah. The holster ain't no gay, though, so you'll never talk about it.
My Lord and Savior doesn't allow this, brother.
Yeah. It's like, what's his name? The Packers head coach. He died because he wouldn't do any of that gay stuff, and then rectal cancer took him.
Buddy, I have a legitimate preacher cousin who has been quoted saying, "If I die of ass cancer, you'll never know. Getting checked for it's gay." I'm like, all right, you sound like a smart guy who should be able to talk to numerous people at a time. You should have a platform. Moron.
He sounds like a guy who got hard one time when they did it to him. He's like, well, I can't do that again.
This is causing too many internal questions, brother.
Like, that Hinge turning me queer. Like, buddy, you might already be gay. Like, that Hinge is outing who you are.
Why discover what actually makes me happy and who I might actually be when I could just be a hateful troll just telling other people what they're doing's wrong?
I take my mental health advice from Peter Thiel.
Yeah, so I hope my cousin's preaching in his closet somewhere, and I hope everybody else has a great weekend, unless, of course, the Raiders don't take Fernando 1.1, in which case, you probably won't hear from me for a week.
They traded to the Buffalo Bills for our 32nd pick.
Yeah, then you will immediately get a phone call from me. I will not want to talk about football. I will want you to point me in the right direction where I can find 1,500 milligram fentanyl lollipops.
I'm going to want to talk about football, though. Like, yeah, buddy, it's in my garage. Swing going by.
Once I'm in my F-hole, you can talk about whatever you want. I'll just sit there and drool for a while.
Fair enough. I'm Alex Midway. Go Sabres.
I'm Eric Halsey. Also go Sabres.
Like it.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators, brother.